Hello everyone, welcome to Talent Master Talent Tutorial Series. In today's video, we are going to learn how we can use context variable in Talent Job. Before starting the video, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe, and if you like my videos, please share with your friends as well. So, to understand the concept, we have to understand three things over here. What is context variable, what is tContextLoad component, and what is a property file. Let's understand these things one by one. So what are context variable? So context variables are the values that can change between different environments. What does it mean? Let's suppose we have a source file path and target file path and some database connection details we are using in a talent job, and we are testing in dev environment. But when we are moving into higher environment like QA in production, we will be using different paths and different connection details. So we have to create our job such a way that it will take different values without changing the code. So how we can achieve it? We can achieve it using context variables. So context variables permits you to supply the values dynamically in the job in different environment. Next is tContextLoad component. tContextLoad component initializes these context variable values which are later used in the job. We will see how it works while the demo. The last thing we have is property file. So property file is nothing but a flat file which stores the context variable's name and its values which are going to be used and initialized in the talent job. So here I have already created one simple job which is reading from input file and doing some transformation in tmap and loading the data into a output file. So here I have hard coded this source file path in the t file input delimited component, and I have hard coded the output file path, target file path in the output file output delimited component. Now let's run this job. So this job is successful. Now suppose I don't want to use hard-coded value for input and output file path. Instead of hard-coded value, I want to use context variable. Let's see how we can do. You have to go into this palette and click on the context variable. Just maximize the window. Click on the plus button and just type source file path and target file path. So these are the two context variable I have created. Now I want to use this context variable in the job. Let's see how we can do this. Here you have to just type context dot and press control space. So it will display all the context variable which are available in the job. So I am using context dot source file path in the t file input delimited component, and in the target file I'll type context dot target file path. So I have used two context variable in the job. Now I have created two context variable in the job, and I have used them in their respective component. But how the values will be supplied to this job? Let's understand. So we have to create one text file. So here we have our property file. Let me open this. So here I have specified the value of the source file path and target file path variable. So whatever value we specify over here gets supplied to the talent job. Now let's see how we can pass these values from a file, from property file to talent job. So here I have one flow already created, t pre job. So in I have used t pre-job component which executes the pre-job whatever job flow, whatever sub-job we have connected with pre-job component will execute before the main job. So here what we are doing, we are reading the property file. We are reading the property file. You can see I have given the property file path over here, and we are reading the context parameter, context variable, we can say context variable in form of key and values. So let me go back to the property file. Here I have source file path and its value. So this name is acting as a key and the value is acting as a value. Same for target file path, and they are separated by equal to sign. So I am going to uh, fetch these values, key and values, in my talent job. I have specified schema as key and value, and I have used field separator as equal to. After that, I have used tContextLoad component. So this tContextLoad component initializes these values to make the value available for talent job execution. Now, let me run the job. As you can see, in the job, so I have used tlogro component over here, which will display whatever values are coming from the property file. So let's first validate these values. Okay, so here we are seeing source file path and target file path are coming as expected, and you can see these values are getting supplied to source file path and target file path context variable as well, which is making the data flow from the source file to target file. So this is how you can use the context variable. So this was very simple example, however, but in real time there might be different cases where you have to use different database connections, different HTTP endpoints across the environment. Like in dev, you might be having some different database connection detail or different endpoints you are uh, invoking in dev, and different and endpoint gets changed in the production environment. So that's how you can use property file and tContextLoad parameter to use the context variables in talent job. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the comment section. I'll try my best to reply to all of your questions. Thank you.